What's good, YouTube? It's your host Axel Rose, and you are now watching MVP Magazine. It's Monday, so you already know it's time for that Monday music. And in today's quick but thoughtful video, we're gonna talk about...
You guys can make fun of me all you want, but in the end, nothing to me is more important than gaming. No women is more important than me. No freaking job is more important. Nothing is more important.
Fanboys and fanatics are definitely not a new phenomenon in this industry. And lately, wait a minute, did he just say he doesn't care about women?
No women is more important than me. No women is more important than me.
With the recent unveiling of the Nintendo Switch, we've seen the public be divided into numerous groups. The people who are really excited and the skeptics. And, unfortunately, the apologists, or, bluntly said, the fanboys. Now, most fanboys might actually mean well and might seem their ramblings and incessant ravings as simply protecting their companies or favourite brands. But upon looking at the launch and everything that's going on with the Nintendo Switch and listening to poor excuses from so-called Xbox fans about the lack of exclusives and the cancellation on Scalebound, and it's clear to see that Fanatics do more damage than help to their console brands. Take Sega for example. They came from very humble beginnings to being arguably the best software developer of the 90s and being the first and only company to truly and successfully rival Nintendo in a hardware market. But once they made their departure from hardware into a third-party developer, they also made their departure from quality controls and quality games in general. And instead of dipping into their extensive back catalogue of games, giving us something that we actually want, like a new Streets of Rage or something, Sega forced Sonic Team to out crappy little Sonic games to keep the bills coming. Maybe, just maybe, if Sonic and Sega's fans were just a tad more objective in their views and opinions, and if they didn't just lap up every Sonic game Sega out, maybe, just maybe, Sonic wouldn't be so...
You ever need to fucking ask yourself where did all the fucking go so wrong?
Now, with the overall advent of the internet and trolling online, there are some cases where games just get dogged out, or anything will just get dogged out and disrespected for no reason. And it's understandable why Sega fans would want to come to one of their favourite franchises' defense. But when the product or brand that you do like genuinely has issues, it's time to admit it, because not doing that would genuinely hurt your product. Like the camera and glitches that plagued the Sonic series ever since it went 3D needed to be addressed, and Sonic fans just didn't want to do that.
That's the sound of 25 years of Sonic!
Exactly. So now one of the greatest gaming icons has now been reduced to bargain bin status just because his fans didn't want to accept reality. It's a shame really, but life goes on. And I say all of that to bring it back to my original point. Now, as fans of these consoles or these brands, whatever, we can like them, but we've got to keep our objective opinion. Microsoft started off this generation amazing with tons of new games and IPs. And for some reason, those games and titles are starting to slow down at the moment. And as a fan of the Xbox brand, that is in no way, shape or form acceptable. Now that the Xbox and Windows brand are one, that should mean there are more exclusives and more games, not less. And the sooner we address that point, the better off the Xbox and Windows brand will be as a gaming platform. Like, there's no way Phil Spencer should be cancelling games like Scalebound and then have the nerve to turn around and tell us, yes, it's good for us. No, it is not good for us. I like games, especially Japanese games where you get to slash stuff and jump and slash more stuff then transform while you're slashing the stuff that you was already slashing. You dig me?
One thing you gotta realize about T Reaper in 2017, nothing is more important than his Xbox. Nothing is more important than my systems. Nothing is more important than gaming 24/7. Nothing is more important than Microsoft.
Now, when a gamer speaks like that, can you really expect to get an objective, truthful, or unbiased opinion? No, you can't. The only thing you can expect to get really is a restraining order. I'm not gonna lie to you, Reap. I'm finna call the cops for you, you know? That made me feel like to call the cops a little bit. But anyway, being a corporate doormat for these conglomerates and companies doesn't help us, and it definitely doesn't help them. In fact, the more we let them get away with madness, the more out of touch they get with what their community and consumers actually want and need. And the Nintendo Switch is a plain example of this. The simple fact that Nintendo haven't addressed all the prior issues with the Wii U before announcing the Switch is a troubling thought. And the fact that there are actually some people which are willing to overlook this is horrible, and it doesn't bode well for the future of Nintendo at all. There is no way fans should still be accepting the lack of third-party support, the lack of decent online infrastructure, and the lack of just willing to conform to certain things which are essential in the video game business, like achievements or a proper online voice chat party system. The funny thing is that these fanatics and fanboys don't realize that their ramblings are actually doing much more damage to their favorite corporations and brands than actually helping. So yes, people, let me know what you think about these fanboys. Let me know which fanboys you think are worse. Personally, I think the Nintendo fanboys are the worst, because what they put up with, they put up with no games and stuff, you know. So whatever you want to say about Xbox fanboys, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, PS fanboys, they have a lighter rep, but then again, J-Tech's a PS fanboy, so you. But yeah, the Xbox Kamen Rider in the building. Monday Musing. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Holler at your boy. Peace.